This cat has meat hooks on its tongue, and they point the wrong way. Up close, a cat tongue does not look soft. It looks like a strip of pink Velcro covered in tiny claws. And that is the pattern of this video. Some animal body parts look like mistakes until the habitat explains them. Those hooks are called pupilli. They are made of keratin, the same tough material in claws. They rake through fur, grab loose hair, and scrape meat from bone. The part that looks uncomfortable is the part that makes the cat work. The weirdest detail is that many of these papillae are shaped like tiny scoops. They can carry saliva down into the coat where the cat cannot pour water and cannot sweat like we do over most of its body. A smooth tongue would only wet the top layer. A hooked tongue reaches between hairs. It cleans, cools, and untangles at the same time. What looked like a mouthful of thorns is really a built-in grooming machine. So the first rule is simple. Strange anatomy is often normal anatomy seen too close. Zoom out, add the daily problem, and the monster part becomes ordinary equipment. Now look at a gecko foot. It should slide off glass. It has no glue, no suction cups, and no claws biting into the window. But the animal can stand on a vertical wall like gravity missed it. The secret is not one sticky pad. It is millions of microscopic hairs called setae, arranged in rows under the toes. Each hair branches into even smaller tips, making the foot contact the surface at an almost invisible scale. At that scale, weak molecular attractions can add up. The gecko is not glued to the wall. It is making huge amounts of close contact, then using the angle of its toes to turn grip on and off. That last part matters. A foot that only sticks would be a trap. Geckos peel their toes away in a controlled motion, like pulling tape from one edge. The impossible foot works because it can release as easily as it grabs. For a small animal hunted by almost everything, walls and ceilings are not decorations, they are escape routes. Gecko toe hairs turn bark, stone, leaves, and house walls into usable ground. Then there is the sea cucumber, an animal with a body part that sounds made up. Inside its body are branching respiratory trees, and water enters them through the rear end. A sea cucumber is not a cucumber with legs. It is an echinoderm related to sea stars. Many species pump seawater into a cloaca, where the respiratory trees exchange gases with the water. This makes sense when you see the animal move. It creeps over the seafloor with no fish-like gills waving in the current and no fast escape plan. Pulling water through the body is a slow animal solution for a slow animal life. Some sea cucumbers spend their days processing sand and organic debris. Their whole body is built around taking the seafloor in, sorting value from it, and sending the rest back out. Even breathing fits that plumbing. A crocodile has eyes that seem too exposed for its job. It ambushes in muddy water, wrestles prey, and still needs to see. The answer is a clear eyelid that slides across the eye. This nictitating membrane works like a living windshield. It helps protect the eye while the normal eyelids stay open. The crocodile can submerge into grit, weeds, bubbles, and struggling prey without turning blind at the worst moment. From above, the crocodile looks almost featureless, just eyes and nostrils breaking the surface. That placement is another body part trick. Most of the animal stays hidden while the sensors stay exposed. The membrane is not there to look alien. It is there because the crocodile lives between two worlds, on land, in water, in mud, and during a strike, the eye needs armor that still admits light. An octopus has a body part that may be even stranger because it is everywhere. Its skin can change color, pattern, and in many species, even texture, so a soft animal can look like a rock, coral, or sand. The color comes partly from chromatophores, tiny pigment organs controlled by muscles and nerves. When they expand and contract, the animal changes the visible pattern on its body, like a screen made of living cells. The bumps are called papillae. These muscular structures can rise and flatten, breaking up the smooth outline of the octopus. A round, soft body is easy to spot. A bumpy patch of reef is much harder. This is what the habitat demands. An octopus has no shell outside its body. It can squeeze through narrow cracks, but that flexibility also leaves it exposed. Camouflage is not decoration. It is armor made of information. The octopus does not need to become invisible everywhere. It needs to fool the specific eyes hunting it, from fish above to predators passing close by. Its skin solves the problem by changing the animal's edge. A goat eye looks like someone installed a letterbox sideways. The pupil is a horizontal slit, and at first it seems like the opposite of good vision. But goats are grazing prey animals. They eat with their heads down in open places where danger can come from almost any direction. A horizontal pupil helps create a wide view across the landscape. Even stranger, when many grazing animals lower their heads, their eyes rotate to keep those pupils roughly aligned with the ground. The body bends down to eat, but the visual system keeps watching the horizon. Compare that with a cat. A small ambush predator often benefits from vertical slit pupils that help judge distance during a pounce. The goat's eye is not worse. It is built for a different question. Where is the threat? Now meet the star-nosed mole, whose face looks like it grew a tiny pink sea creature. Around its nostrils are 22 fleshy appendages, and they are not just for smelling. The star is packed with touch organs called Eimer's organs. In dark tunnels and muddy wetlands, sight is limited, so the mole reads the world with rapid touches, building a picture through contact. If your world is soil, roots, insects, and waterlogged darkness, a normal-looking nose is not enough. The star turns the front of the face into a scanning surface, like fingertips arranged around the nostrils. For a small mole, prey can be tiny and scattered. Every second spent searching costs energy. The strange nose helps it touch, inspect, and identify small food items with remarkable speed. A woodpecker has a tongue system that seems impossible to store. In many woodpeckers, the tongue-supporting hyoid apparatus is elongated and wraps around the skull before the tongue extends out of the beak. The bird needs a long, precise tool for extracting insects from tunnels in wood, but the head is small, so the tongue system is routed through the head like a biological cable, giving length without needing a larger skull. People often imagine the tongue as a simple helmet strap for the brain. The better explanation starts with feeding. The hyoid apparatus supports a tongue that can reach into hidden spaces where the beak cannot go. The tree creates the body part. Insects hide under bark and deep in channels. The woodpecker does not only smash wood, it probes. The long tongue turns a hole into a hunting tunnel. A hammerhead shark looks like a shark with the wrong head attached. Its eyes are pushed far apart, and the head spreads into a wide blade called a cephalofoil. That head carries sensors across a broad surface. Hammerheads use vision, smell, and electroreception as they search. The wide head is not random excess. It spreads the shark's sensory equipment across the water in front of it. On the seafloor, prey can vanish under sand. A narrow head checks one small strip. A hammer-shaped head samples a wider path, which helps explain why the animal looks so strange from the front. Every one of these body parts looks wrong only if you remove the problem it solves. Hooks belong on a tongue if fur is a daily battlefield. Hairs belong on feet if walls are roads. A clear eyelid makes sense when your eyes hunt underwater. The same rule keeps going. A sea cucumber's breathing tree fits a slow body on the sea floor. An octopus skin texture fits a soft animal with no shell. A goat's sideways pupil fits a grazer that must eat and watch at the same time. So the next time an animal looks like it has a part it should not have, ask what world would make that part normal? The answer is usually hidden in the mud, the fur, the bark, the reef, or the direction the predator comes from. And that brings us back to the cat tongue. It was never a mistake. It was a comb, a scraper, a water carrier, and a cooling tool, disguised as a strip of tiny hooks. The strangest body parts are not accidents. They are habitat instructions written in flesh. If the part looks impossible, you are probably looking at the animal before you have looked closely enough at its world.